Big Brother is watching with satellites and cameras everywhere. Sure, it can be an invasion of privacy, but there can also be an upside. Take, for example, the never-ending war on crime. While apps like Google Earth allow us incredible access to areas around the world, it also means the authorities have a new angle to catch criminals. Satellite imagery and perfectly timed Street View images have actually been used to solve a variety of crimes. So, hit that subscribe button and prepare to be amazed at just what Google catches with its all-seeing lenses. Shoplifter. When Tammy MacIver came running out of a store in Middlesbrough, England, she probably thought her shoplifting had paid off. Unfortunately, she happened to emerge from the store the moment a Google van was driving by, and it caught her great escape on camera. But the story doesn't end there. Shop employees had no luck identifying her, but a random person looking through Google Street View saw the shoplifter escaping and alerted police. Authorities were able to link the crime to the outfit MacIver was wearing and convict her for her misdeeds. Dumping garbage. Dwight Foster had an 18-foot boat he wanted to get rid of. However, he was too lazy to pay the $18 to dispose of it legally, so he dumped it in a subdivision. Florida sheriffs weren't willing to let this case of littering go unpunished and turned to Google Earth. Searching through imagery of nearby communities, the police found an older picture of the boat sitting right on Foster's property. Tracking down the address, they arrested Foster, who faced a potential $5,000 fine and jail time, all over $18. Bicycle thieves. A 14-year-old Dutch boy was riding on his bicycle when two men dragged him off his bike and stole his phone and over $200. With just the boy's word and memory to go by, things didn't look good. Then Google Earth came to the rescue. The boy looked up the location where the attack occurred, and as luck would have it, the Google car had driven by just moments before the attack had taken place. There, caught on camera for all to see, were the twin brothers just about to attack the 14-year-old boy on his bike. Needless to say, it made things a lot easier in identifying and arresting the culprits. Prostitution. It's often said that it's one of the oldest professions in the world, but most places have laws against people soliciting sex. Interestingly, Google Earth has actually helped police crack down on a number of prostitution rings and their johns. From prostitutes offering their services on the streets to the business interaction between them and their johns to the straight-up public sex acts, Google Earth has caught it all and has been used by police to crack down on known troubled areas. The drug deal. Like prostitution, drug dealing on the streets has come under the watchful eye of Google. In Brooklyn, New York, police were able to use Google Earth to see locations where known drug dealers hung out and did their business. In this particular instance, the imagery led to more intense surveillance by police, which ultimately resulted in a big bust. Clearly, the dealers weren't too smart for operating in the open. However, how the fact not one of them seems to care about the car with all the cameras on the roof passing by shows just how oblivious they were. Home invaders. An unidentified Oklahoma woman had a terrifying day in 2011 when two men broke in, held her at gunpoint, and ransacked the house. Unable to give more than a general description, the case went cold. A few years later, a friend was looking at the neighborhood in Street View and saw two men standing outside of the woman's home. It turns out it was the exact two men who had invaded the home earlier. The pictures were sent to the police, who immediately made the images of the men public in order to track them down. Greek tax dodgers. If you're following world events all over the past several years, then you know Greece has had a lot of trouble with its finances. In a bid to put things right and get more tax money into the coffers, the government turned to Google Earth. You see, it turned out that a lot of Greek homeowners weren't paying all the taxes they should have. For instance, they would conveniently leave out that they had a swimming pool, so they paid less in tax. Well, using Google in just Athens alone, they found residences with nearly 17,000 pools, yet citizens had only claimed there were just over 300. Thanks to this, the government has been able to collect around $2 billion in back taxes and fines. Swiss bust. In the old days, surveillance of a large area would require a plane or helicopter. As Swiss police investigating a suspected drug ring discovered, Google Earth can be quite the eye in the sky. While looking at the addresses of individuals suspected to be involved, the police stumbled across a shot of a large marijuana field. It was a pretty obvious smoking gun, and the authorities moved in. 16 suspects were taken into custody, and police hauled in an impressive 1.1 tons of marijuana. The axe murderer. When people saw images of a man chasing down another man and bludgeoning him in the street in Edinburgh, they were shocked. Police were called immediately and informed of the disturbing imagery. So, had Google caught a real-life brutal attack from start to finish? Not quite. Police tracked down Dan Thompson and Gary Kerr. The two were mechanics at a local shop and saw the Google car approaching, so they decided to have some fun. Police knew it was a joke pretty quickly, as it turns out one of the officers actually has their car serviced at the garage, where the murderer and victim both work. Stolen trailer. The Soanes family were shocked one day to arrive home to find their mobile home stolen. Amazingly, the family's 11-year-old son was looking around Google Street View one day when he noticed that the image of their house had a strange man in an SUV parked in the driveway. Incredibly, a Google car with cameras on had driven by the Soanes' home right as the thief was preparing to steal the trailer. The image was given to the police, who eventually arrested a suspect in the case. Well, it's pretty incredible and just a bit creepy what is possible with Google Earth. You know what else is incredible? The array of fun and interesting videos we have for you over at The Richest. Be sure to check them out, and as always, make sure you subscribe. Like Google Earth, we'll be seeing you later. Bye-bye.